Florence was introduced to me by one of my colleagues as the daughter of a retired colleague, also from Shell, whom I used to know. I used to know her father. And so she came to see me to introduce her business. She was in the computer marketing business. And I gave her a bit of advice. I was initially surprised and asked her, what is a lady doing in a very competitive and complex environment of IT marketing? But very quickly I got to know that she has what it takes to be in that business. She was trained as a chemical engineer, and therefore she could speak the language of engineering. And not only that, she was very passionate about her job and very persuasive. Also interested in doing some business with Shell. And I advised her that, look, well, Shell, doing business with Shell is very competitive. And that, yes, I explained the system we use in Shell, that you don't have to know anybody, you just compete. When there are marketing requirements, we put out a tender, and once you are qualified, you are pre-qualified as one of the companies that can tender, then you just put a tender in. And if your own bid wins, that's it. So she put in some bids. Sometimes she won, sometimes she didn't win. So when she was planning to change the setup of Omatek, she came to me and discussed with me, and we bounced the ideas around. So to some extent I can say from that early stage I was already involved in Omatek. I don't remember exactly now what year, but I believe I had already left Shell then, sometimes I think 1993 or 94. She was contemplating setting up a board for the company, and came to discuss with me as usual, and told me that she would like me to be on that board. Naturally, I said I'll be glad to if she thought that I could add value to her business, because I was already very much impressed by what she was doing. And that was how I came onto the board. Then we also discussed other potential board members. And eventually, when the first board was set up, it was decided that I should be the chairman of the board. With all sense of modesty, I believe that I've been quite active. There's scarcely any idea that she wants to implement that she doesn't at least try to get some ideas, I mean my view about the idea. And also, if I have certain ideas about the direction the business should go, I will also call her and discuss with her. So we have been very, very close, and I would consider my role as being a very active one. Well, if you're talking about the board in general, I think it's more of formulation of policies, advice on policies, and policy implementation, and also trying to help to chart a direction for the company, and to support the company in its activities as much as possible. Now, aside from that, I believe I've tried to do even more. Like I said earlier, if I have ideas, I let her know. And if she has ideas, she sometimes will bounce it on me so that we can discuss and trash out the pros and cons. In fact, on some occasions, if you come to this office and you see me and Florence arguing about an issue, you'll be surprised. I don't say because I'm like her father that whatever I say goes, no. Or she doesn't say because she's the MD, whatever she says goes. We actually argue the merits and demerits of the particular issue until we come to a consensus. And I believe that has been beneficial to the growth and development of the company. And I expect that to continue. Yes, we are very proud that even though we are a local company, we believe we are a local company that is operating at international standards level. And we believe we can compete with any company anywhere. We source our raw materials from the same factories in Asia where the likes of HP and Compaq and IBM source their own raw materials as well. In fact, on our visits to these factory sources in Asia, very often we have been confronted with batches that are earmarked for IBM, batches that are earmarked for HP, and batches that are earmarked for Omatek. And we believe that our computers and our computer products can compete favorably with any. And in fact, these have been subjected to benchmark tests by the rating organizations. And Omatek computers have come out very well, and comparable in quality, durability to any of the others. Yes, you're right. I have worked in an international company, and I have been a party to selecting products for those companies. And I can safely tell you that Omatek computers will fit very well and have been fitting very well in the product acquisition of these multinational companies. Those who have tried Omatek have come to recognize that the Omatek quality is comparable to none other. It's very good. We are the best. And we continue to aim to remain the best. As products are developed and are engineered and new ones are coming on, we will move along with them. And very often we also have input into the research and development of those companies that from whom we source our raw materials to ensure that we are keeping up with the latest developments. We are also a pace setter in the sense that we identify new applications and we try to find a way to provide technological and technical solutions to try and meet the requirements of those applications. So from that point of view, as I said, we contribute to the research effort of those organizations. Eventually, we hope that we will be able to set up full-fledged research outfits in our own factories so that we can also come up with new products. But the way it is now, and the way many companies are doing it around the world, it is so complex that no single company can do everything. However, you try and carve a niche and make contributions in specific areas, and that's what we have been trying to do. We believe in providing technical and technological solutions to identified problems. For example, our foray into solar products is born out of that desire, that policy, that we should try and be a pace setter. We recognize that in a country like Nigeria, that power is a problem. Adequate power supply and regular power supply is a problem. So in trying to see what we can do to overcome that, that is how the issue of solar products came up. And we gave an input into the companies that work with us in Asia. And that is how some of our solar products were developed. And this is not something that you do once and for all. It's a continuing effort. We continue to look for opportunities to bring in new products to satisfy identified demands. And this will continue. I believe Omatek products are quite suitable. We take into account the climate environment, the power environment, and we have built into our products those devices that will help to overcome whatever the environmental problems are. And this is a feature of all our Omatek products. Take our desktop, for example. We built into them new power supplies that are more robust. We put into them a ventilating design to ensure that the ambient temperature that we find in this part of the world does not adversely affect the performance of our products. Those are some of the innovations that we have brought to bear. And if you visit our factory, you will see that we are emphasizing these additional devices to enhance our products, to make them competitive and to make them suitable for the environment in which they are going to operate. This is what you find in our factory in Nigeria. This is what you find in our factory in Ghana. I'm sure you know that we have a factory in Ghana as well. In fact, that brings me to another subject, because, you see, it was because a country like Ghana got to know about the quality of our products that we as a company were invited by the Ghana government to come and set up a factory in Ghana. We were actually invited. The Minister of Communications in Ghana met the group MD at an exhibition of ITU, International Telecommunication Union, in Cairo, and was so impressed with the product that we then brought the delegation to visit our factory in Nigeria. And as a result of that, we were invited to set up a similar factory in Ghana, which is now serving as a gateway to other West African countries with products and services. We are very proud that others fell by the wayside, but we have remained strong, and we keep going strong in spite of these difficulties. Part of that is because of the marketing ability of our company. We not only build robust and high quality products, we also come up with marketing solutions which take into account the environment to overcome some of the funding difficulties. For example, we were the first to spearhead the introduction of consumer schemes, whereby we negotiate with government ministries and parastatals on how to acquire computer products and finance those acquisitions in innovative ways by joining forces with the banks to ensure that those products can be easily acquired by the end users, and that the process of paying for those products is facilitated, is very easy. So this is one of the ways we are going about trying to overcome the funding problem. That way, computers are financed via the bank, and the banks also do recover their money via the deductions that are made by the various organizations from those who are acquiring the computers. It's one of the ways we try to overcome the funding problem. Build up credibility. We are able to source funds from abroad as well, which have been very, very helpful. So that we were in a position to not only tap into the local funding environment, but also, because of our credibility, to tap into funding environments of our overseas operations in Singapore, for example. So these have been very, very helpful in trying to overcome the difficulties that the financial meltdown brought about. My message to them is that Omatek is here to stay, and that Omatek is a company that is solid. Omatek is innovative. Omatek is high quality. It's for high quality products, and we are forward looking. We are constantly looking ahead to see what new products and services we should introduce, which will help to tackle identified problems in the environment. And because of that, we believe that our products will always be in demand. And therefore, for the typical investor, I think they can rest assured that their money is going to yield very, very good dividends in the coming years. So instead of standing by the wayside, I think they should confidently go ahead and continue to invest in Omatek. What I'm trying to say is that we are a local company striving constantly to be at a world-class company. And that is why we have the motto on many of our publications, which is world-class within reach. In other words, we are trying to tell the world, tell our consumers, tell our customers that even though we are from the Nigerian stable, we believe that we are a world-class company, a world-class organization that has products that can compete anywhere in the world. And wherever we have been, that has been the story. When the Group MD went to a function in Uganda, our products were acclaimed, have been world standard. Similarly, in Ghana, our products are acclaimed, have been world standard, and that's where we want to be. And that is where